Hello, all my crafty people out there. I have a new project that I'm super excited about. I just went and thrifted the items. I may post the thrift. It wasn't very long, but I know that some people like to see that as well. Anyway, this is from Goodwill. I went to American Thrift and to Goodwill because I'm a glutton like that. And I found a good old pair of jeans. Nothing fancy. These are, can you read that? It says classic stitch. Won't worry about the size. Anyway, I'm not sure, honestly, what brand they are. It says 1969 Gap. Oh, so I guess they're Gap. Gap jeans. Anyway. I couldn't find a label that I could read as far as their denim content, but if you go to the old stretch test, there's really no stretch to these, so I'm pretty sure this is like 98% cotton, if not the whole thing. Which, again, cotton makes it really easy for it to do that nice fringing that we like on some things. Our shorts, that kind of thing. And I am going to cut these off just like I would a pair of shorts. So I'll probably measure my, 3 inches down from that crotch seam and just nail it right across. Take off both the legs. And when I do that, I'm going to add lace to the whole leg. I'm going to make the leg lace. These happen to fit me, which again is rare because I'm a little on the short side, but I'll be able to use the legs for other things, other projects, but I'm going to use lace. And I found a really neat lace dress that would not fit me. Actually, it's kind of more like a jumper. Anyway, I'll show it to you. It is, that's the sleeve. It is this brand. I don't think it's anything special, and it's a small, so it would probably not fit me comfortably. And it's open in the front, so I guess you'd wear something under it unless you're just that bold. It's long sleeved, and it has this nice long skirt, and the skirt is actually already in two. So it's going to be, I think, perfect for this project. It literally, I think I'm going to take one side and put it on the leg, and the other side and put it on the other leg. So I am not a lot of measuring here. But the lace itself, I thought was really pretty. It has this nice scalloped edge, and it's very open like I've been looking for. And the print is not wild and crazy, but it's pretty. So this is going to be the bottom of my jeans. So let's get going, and I want to show y'all how that happens. So I'm going to change up the table and we'll get going. Okay, everybody, I forgot to show you, and I apologize. This was my Goodwill receipt, and I don't know if you can see it right there, but I paid $5.49 or $5.59, excuse me, for the jeans, and $4.49 for the dress, which they actually listed as a shirt for some reason. So win for me because they're usually $6.99. So anyway, let's go ahead. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to take the lace off of this. It really is actually a jumper. There's shorts under here, but I don't need those. So I'm going, and it's already got a rip in it, so I'm just going to cut around and it'll remove this lace or take it away from the rest of the garment, and then we'll have those panels to help us gauge where we want to cut our jeans so we have enough fabric to fill that spot. So all I'm doing, again, this is the top of the dress, and I've actually pulled the bottom half of the liner, which is the little shorts, out. So all I have down here is this, I think is actually really pretty lace. And I'm going to start at that little rip now that I've lost it. There it is. There might be more than one actually. So I'm just going to start here. Bring my scissors up underneath here. And cut away. I might cut from the other side. It's more my angle. And there's several rips. So note to self, it's either the lace or the wear that really put this through it. So I'm going to cut away. And it's okay if I'm not perfect up here at the top, or I'm trying to get as close as I can to the seam line so I can have as much fabric as possible. I was telling someone at the Goodwill today, as I was checking out, that all I was really doing was shopping for fabric, not for anything to wear. But hopefully, once I'm done, it will be wearable again. That's kind of the whole idea between upcycling. Okay, now, interesting. All right, this gets me to another seam line. And this seam line apparently goes all the way down. But you would think it does not. Okay, so it does not. It stops right here on these shorts. So my best way to take care of this, I think, is just cut the shorts away. So I'm sorry for all the flourishing. You can see that the little shorts meet the dress or the outfit right here, and there's a seam that goes down this. So I'm going to cut the shorts away. I'm just going to snip a little hole in them, and then I can put my scissors in there. And I can worry about getting this close up later when I'm kind of prepping the fabric for attachment. Okay. Let's see. Cut the other side up. So essentially we're detaching the lace from this pair of shorts. Alright, let's see what we got now. This is a lot of fabric to work with, y'all. Just putting that out there. Okay. Now, looks like from the other side, I'm just going to have to cut through that seam now that I've detached the shorts from both sides of it. This was a pretty long dress, shorts, outfit, whatever. So I would imagine I should have plenty of fabric to use without worrying too much about those seams getting in my way. Sorry, I'm trying to keep it where you can see it. Hoping to get at least one side off, because it is split down each side, which again makes measuring so much easier, because then all I'm going to do, alright, now that is, actually that's the whole skirt. Okay, so I only had to do one cut. Alright, where that cut was back in the back, I guess, where the skirt part met the shorts, and they had seamed them together around the zipper. I tore a zipper up, which is fine. It's not a big deal at all, but that's what that was. That was a zipper that was in the back of the outfit that attached it to the little shorts. So now I have this one big continuous piece of lace that just happens to be in two from the most part because it's split up the sides all the way up to here. So I've got, let's see, almost a yard that's split up here, and it's this beautiful scalloped end. So, and it's 4 panels a piece, evenly divided. This is going to be cool. So it goes up, and then right here is where it meets together and closed up to make a whole skirt. But again, we'll split that up and find out how much fabric we need for our legs. So let's take our legs and pull them out here. And kind of pull it back so y'all can see the whole length of the leg. So here's the crotch, and I've got to decide how far down I want to cut it from that area. And I'm not sure. I was thinking 3 inches. I might make it a little longer, but let's see how much fabric we've got to work with. So this is the side of the fabric, and if we wanted to meet the end of this pant leg so we're in the same length, because like I said, these actually fit me, then this is going to be great, because I think, wow, that might be a little too perfect. The split ends right here where I think I would be cutting my jeans off anyway. So we may be able to salvage some of this lace up here, depending on how I'm able to cut it for another project, because all of this won't get used up here, the part that's connected. So we've got at least one flower in that particular piece, so this could be another project, or it could be an insert in some other outfit, who knows. But I think see, this is the crotch here, this is where the seam starts. I think it's going to be quite perfect, actually. Maybe I might not even have to have, what I'll do if I cut it right at the seam all the way across, go all the way across, then that'll give me enough allowance to put it onto the pants and have it meet the pants, and give me a seam allowance, I should say. The other thing about this, though, is what I'm trying to determine is, I was thinking about doing kind of what the dress or outfit did and leaving these panels open on the sides. I don't know if that would be too flowy or just right, or I'm not sure. So, and of course I'm going to have more fabric here than I need for the width of the leg, so it will be a little gathered up top. So say like when if you fold this in half, and that's going to be what I'm replacing the jean leg with, you've got another 4 or 5 inches over here on the side that are wider than the pant leg. So I'll have to gather the top, and I probably won't do a traditional gather. I'll probably just do a pinch, kind of like a darting system, to gather it up so I can fit it into that leg and then give it a little width out here. I just think this lace is going to be really pretty, so I'm super excited. All right, I'm going to measure up where I want to cut off my jeans, and since I know for a fact I have plenty of fabric for the pants leg up to almost 2.5 inches there, so I'm probably going to cut my legs. I might cut them at 4 inches, give them a try on, and or even 5 inches, give them a try on, and then if they're not short enough, I can always take more, but you can't add back. So I'm going to start long and work my way backwards. And I'm going to try and cut this straight, not at an angle. I want to cut it straight so I won't have to worry about this being, lopsided at the bottom. All right, I'll get back with y'all. Let me figure out the cut. Okay, everyone, I have got my jeans laid out here straight, side by side. Make sure that the hem lines are lined up together, and I put them on my 1-inch mark on my board. So I'm using the board to help me, and I want to probably give about 5 inches. Like I said, we can change this up. You can always take away, but you can't add. So, I guess you could get creative. So I've got this measured down 4 inches from this seam line, this crotch seam line. Actually, it's closer to 5. That's 5. So that's what I've got measured down from the seam line, and you can see we're even on both sides, crossing fingers. And I'm going to go ahead and cut these off. Again, this has got a little bit of, that's my first line I tried, and that's the beauty of this what is it called, marking tape, marking chalk, I'm not sure, seamstress chalk. Anyway, point is, it's easy to get rid of. All right, here comes always the scary part for me. I don't know why. I mean, it's not a big deal. What did I pay? $5.49 for these? It'll be okay. So I'm gonna go right across. I'm gonna cut these. Like I said, they're about 5 inches from the inseam, from the crotch part on the inseam. And if I really wanted to check twice, cut once, put this leg over here, and you can see it lines up, so that's good. I'm going to take it off, cut my other leg off, these are some pretty decent scissors. These are Fiskars. I need to have them sharpened, but they're good. They're easy to get a hold of in most places. So now we've got our cut off jeans. Boy, these look like something I would have worn as a kid. The great part, like I said, is these are really high cotton level. I would estimate probably 98-99% because they've got very little stretch. So they're going to fray up nice. And what we're going to do is going to attach. I already went up the seam and got these into 2 pieces. So I just did a seam rip up that seam where the 2 laces were joined. 2 panels of lace. And we're going to put that lace on the bottom of that leg. It's easier to look at it this way. Okay, so I've got it spread out. I'm going to put my jean back on top of it. And of course it's going to be gathered a little, and I'm going to have it, this actually is going to be on the outside. I'm going to have it open on the outside. So when you walk, you get a little extra flare. So that's going to be on the outside of my jeans. So now I'm going to use the legs that I cut off, since they did fit me. I went ahead and tried them on, to gauge how much fabric I'm going to need, how much of this lace I'm going to need for the leg. And I'm trying to see, I don't see a definitive right and wrong on this. Oh, well, I'll use there's a seam that's, it's a hem actually to the side of this lace that was already there. and that's what I'll use as gauging the inside to the outside. So I'm putting these wrong sides together for right now. And I'm going to fold it in half. We're going to get some extra flare out of this. All right. Now this is my outside seam. This part right, let me get rid of this one. This part right here is my outside seam to my jeans. It's not double. Your inside seam is usually got the extra decorative piece. Actually, no, I think I've got it wrong. I got it wrong. I think it's backwards. Anyway, that's my outside seam. Honestly, it doesn't matter. This is going to be the same length as this. And I might actually give it a little extra. I'm going to push this scallop down below that hemline because I had enough room for that. They fit really good. So as far as the length goes, well, actually they fit all good no matter what, but the length was good. Been real lucky last couple of times I've gone to get jeans to do projects with. The hem has fit me right at my foot, you know, where it should be. No big pooling or anything like that. So anyway, I figure we're gonna need, if I push that there, we're probably gonna need maybe about I'll probably cut it about a 1/2 inch more than the jeans, the length of these jeans, because you gotta think you're gonna be taking up some of the jean with this hem, or the seam, I'm sorry, the seam. So that's why I want to give it a little extra down here, because I knew they fit, but I don't want to lose any of the length either. So this is my extra, and this is where we are meeting the jean top that we cut off, the leg we cut off. So now we're going to give it a 1/2 inch. It'll be easier to do it this way. And give it a 1/2 inch to use for the seam allowance. And we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna give it a little extra down here. So I'm gonna put this seam line right in the middle of the seam line between the two scalloped edges, two scallops on the edge. Fold it over, make sure we're not losing any fabric. Okay. And then I'm going to be brave and cut myself a piece here. And like I said, I'm going to use a 1/2 inch seam allowance. So I'm going to use this. Give myself about a 1/2 inch. That's actually closer to 5/8 of an inch. But again, what's the rule? You can always take away, but it's really hard to add back. I'm not going to say it's impossible, but it's not easy. And we're going to use the rotary cutter for this. That'll make it a lot easier to go across this lace and keep it from fraying. So I'm just trying to make sure I'm going straight. Don't want no crooked legs. Alright, now we have our leg, our first leg. Now I'm one to try and create symmetry. See all this nice leftover? It's beautiful lace. And there's still more on the outfit. Now I'm going to leave those two legs up there. And I'm going to take my second piece of lace, which is the same length, same width, everything. Now it has a seam down the side where it was seamed in order to accommodate that zipper. It's not going to matter. It's not going to make a big difference. It's a very nice seam, so it doesn't lose the design. I'm not worried about it. And again, these are just for having fun and going out and, you know, just having fun. So I'm going to try and line these scalloped edges up first. That way we get a good, nice, even look. And we're going to line this up with our other piece. And we're going to put that up there. I'm going to use the board again, and I'm lining that edge up there on the 10th line, the 10th measurement. And I'm going to try and do that with this one. Actually, you know what? Let's put it on top of it. Let's make it even better. So we're going to put them on top of each other and just kind of use it as a template. That way we'll be sure we get the right length. So we want to line up our scallops down here at the end, and that will make us a template. This is lace, so it's kind of flimsy, obviously, but this particular lace is working out really well as far as it's even though it's really holey. Okay, now we want to straighten that, make sure all of our scallops are meeting properly. Again, better to check and push your fabric up towards the cutting line so all of your scallops are even. You don't want one leg longer than the other, most of the time. And let's take our ruler again. We're going to put it right up against where we cut the other piece. That's not lining up perfectly right here, but that's okay. I think we're in the zone. Make sure. Just don't want it to be lopsided. So we're gonna do this again. I think we've got it. It's as perfect as it's going to get since we're deconstructing, reconstructing. Now it's a little off up there, so I'm just going to take my little ruler. Again, be careful, don't take too much away. I know that you're probably not going to obviously find the exact same clothes and outfits that I'm finding. I want to just check this. Shake it out. But that's okay. What I'm trying to help with or trying to give you is just some techniques, some ideas, some some help. I want you to be able to create your own stuff and enjoy it. Go into a store, especially one that's doing the recycling for you and taking donations, and think about what you can make with all the different things that are there. I mean, possibilities are as endless as your imagination. Let's check this leg one more time, make me feel better. So, like this. Let's check it against this leg. See if we've still got a seam allowance, and we do. And the scallops are falling below it. Ooh, I think we got it. All right, next thing I'm going to do is set up I'm going to pin this onto the jeans, And I am probably going to pin them underneath. In other words, I'm going to pin this right side to the wrong side inside this pant leg. That way I can sew around, and it will be underneath the edge, which we are going to want to fray. So I will give it a little distressing, but I'll also wash it and make sure that it frays and does what we want to for the fuzzy boho fun look. All right, I'm going to go pin this and we'll get to the machine. I'm going to give y'all a quick look of how I'm going to do this, or how I'm doing this. I've got this first leg pinned on, and I've got the sheer opening part to the outside of the leg. I think that'll give it the best flare. And I'm pinning roughly 5/8, almost an inch in, because yeah, it's closer to, yeah, it's about 5/8. And so I folded this one in half, and I know I've got right sides together. The fold is right side to right side, because when I put it in this leg, when I turn it out, I want the right side to show. So I'm pinning, in this particular scenario, right side to wrong side on these pants, because of the way I want them to fall. So I am putting my first side piece here, and on top of it I'm putting the other side. So I'm sewing both sides at the same time, right at the side seam. Okay, and then I'm doing kind of a divide and conquer. It's a binary search process, and I'm dividing the pants leg in half, and this is the point where they're in half, and then I'm dividing this in half, which this is actually really easy because the pattern is so perfect, and also that's where that seam is, so that works perfect. So I'm putting that on the inside of my lace. I'm putting the pants leg on the inside of my lace, and can go in here, and I'm going to line that up with that halfway mark, essentially is what it is. And I'm going to put a pin in it, and I've got to make sure I don't catch both sides of the leg. Now, oh, well, you know what, you got to catch at least one side of the leg. So again, stretch half, put it in, come up under here, make sure that when you pin it, you're catching the jean leg right there at that halfway mark, and the lace. So then I do another divide and conquer. So I fold the leg in half, and I do a little finger creasing, and I can see where that little finger crease is right there. Now again, the good thing about this is it already has the center found for you, because this particular design. Now your design or your process, you just might have to find the center of the fabric each time you do this. It's kind of a manual pleating process instead of running a stitch. Now on the other side, what I did, see, I've got excess to the leg. Remember, this is wider than the leg, so I put 2 small pleats in this area here, and I folded them away from the center. I couldn't tell you why. I just thought it was a good idea. It worked out. So again, I'm going to go up under here, and I'm going to take that little pleat, pull it down, and then I'm going to make another pleat. I'm just I'm putting my finger underneath the fabric and folding it over and making a little pleat there. And again, that's just to take up the excess fabric that we knew we were going to have, because these panels, these lace panels, were larger than the leg of the pants. So same thing, put my little finger in there, just kind of pinching up a little spot and putting a pin in it, making a pleat. And this time I'm going this way. This side I was going that way. I'm going away from this center mark. Again, you can do it any way you want. You could do all of them the same direction. It would not, I don't know if it would make a big difference. The other thing I got to check is to make sure that I'm not putting too much lace up there. I'm going to have to take the hemming ruler to it and make sure that I'm at about 5/8 inch instead of an inch here and an inch there. Then I'm going to flip my pants over. And you'll notice they're inside out. This makes this whole process a lot easier. You wouldn't want to be pinning it from the other way. And again, divide and conquer where my center points. Here they are. Just fold them over, get a rough idea where my center is. Finger press it. Probably about right here, and I pinned both sides on this one. Wouldn't I do that? Sorry about that. I still pinned both sides. Okay, let go of this side. Pin it. There we go. All right. Sorry for the complication. Our center mark. Now you can mark this with pen or pencil or what, you know. It's on the inside. It's not going to show. I do have the water soluble markers for this kind of thing, but I don't think I really need them. And on the back, it seemed to work out where I didn't have as much fabric, so I just used one dart in the back, or one pleat in the back. Let me pick this up, make sure I'm not pinning to both sides, and create that little dart there, or pleat, I guess it's more like. Now we can get this a little more perfected when we get to the machine too, and it'll work itself out on the machine as well. Alright, and then on this side I'm going to pleat away from the center. Now, we're going to take a hemming ruler, make sure we're not too far off, because we don't want our legs to be uneven. And we're going to sew around the edges. So let's go back to, let's go to the sewing machine and see how this goes. Fingers crossed. Okay, I just wanted to let y'all see the end here. I've sewn one leg on, and I am working on the second one. I'm on the last quarter of it. What I did is, after I pinned it, I turned around and made a zigzag on top of the lace. This lace is kind of holey and sparse, so I wanted to make sure that I caught it and it stayed. So I made the smallest zigzag that I could, and I'm using this kind of goldy thread that matches the thread that you usually see jeans done in. So this is the last of the leg, the second leg, and because I'm using a zigzag stitch, it's a slow stitch because it's got to go back and forth. I'm using a denim needle because obviously I'm sewing on denim, and I do put my machine through it. Not even gonna lie about it. I push her to the hilt. but that's just me sewing. And I'll make sure I catch these little pleats that we've put in when we were pinning it. I know you're watching me and you're thinking, oh my God, she's gonna put her finger under there. But I that foot's really good. My fingernail goes right up to the foot, but I knock on wood, have not ever put my finger underneath a needle. And I guarantee you, if I do today, I will edit that out. So I am almost through. Every time I get next to these little darts, or these little pleats, I try to go a little slower. Make sure I don't push her too hard. And now I'm catching the end of where I began. Cut my thread. And I am done. Alright, I have got the lace attached to each leg using a simple little zigzag. There's about a 1/2 inch seam allowance there, and I'm attaching the right side of the lace that I want to show on the outside to the wrong side of my jeans. This will give me some fraying ability here, and it'll let the jeans do their fraying that they're going to do naturally when I wash them. Now we'll go over to the table and look at our finished product. Okay, everybody, this is the final look. Now, I have to tell you, I tried them on, and I forgot to try them on before we measured out the lace. And I was just willing to go with the 5-inch inseam, but I had enough of the allowance in the lace that I was able to cut another inch off of these. So this is a more like a 4-inch inseam on the jeans, and they turned out really cute. So what I'm going to do now, obviously, I'm going to do some washing, some fraying, get these to get really cute and fuzzy, and they split up the sides. So they're going to open as I walk. I'm super excited about these. I have looked for lace that I would be able to do this with for a long time, and just happened upon a dress today that works. So I will post this soon, and then I would love for y'all to send and comment with any photos that that y'all are doing right now, that any kind of creative upcycling, thrifting, and redesigning. Just send it to me. I'm more than willing to share my ideas with you, so whatever you want to share is great. And y'all have a great day, and please remember to subscribe and like, and I will see you on the flip side of our next project.